Just under 12,000 miles, just under 90 hours on the generator. A very nice, no-nonsense, simple series Freelander, which is an Asdel Class C lamination in the sidewalls, by the way. Coming in here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. You may recognize this. We've had video on this RV before. This is the second time we've seen it. It's had two previous owners. First one used it a little bit, swapped up to something larger. Second one found out they were just too busy with work and never had a chance to use it. Now, I try to give credit where it's due and try to be fair. This is a sharp coach. I totally understand. And we don't carry these new, but I totally understand the appeal and the value. This is a really well executed series of RVs right here. I've actually always really liked this layout. It's a classic design. It's no slides, it's no nonsense, it's easy travel access because obviously everything has to be travel accessible if there's no slides since it's destination accessible. And it sure doesn't look like this thing saw a whole heck of a lot of use, unfortunately. But, you know, good news for you folks. Now there are seat belts for the sofa. They're just tucked down in that can fold down into a sleeper. And I love the big windows, the awesome views and airflow and visibility you get in a opposing seating motorhome like this. I do also like the little airflow window that you're getting in the kitchen space, which is nice. We'll come back and get a better look at the kitchen from the other direction. All of the countertops, whether it's the dinette, the kitchen, or this little extension right here, or in the I guess maybe I should actually point the camera at the extension, you know? Crazy idea, I know, guys. I know this is like way far ahead of my time, you know, pointing the camera at things I'm describing. Holy cow, really firing on all 8 cylinders today. But my point is, it's all sealed edge thermal foil countertop, so you know it's got a pressed molded membrane on top, so that basically, unless you really crack this egg, you know, you're not going to get any yolk anywhere. There are pleated nightshades all the way around here to also give us plenty of privacy. Speaking of privacy, when you reach your destination, just kind of stowed away up front here, you see this little removable curtain. Well, it'll just Velcro onto those little catches right there. So when you reach your destination, you can block off that entire front cab compartment. Now up top here, obviously, we've got our overhead cab, 350-pound rated. This is, let me get the camera up here away from the light. There we go. That is one of those areas where, say like a Jayco Redhawk 27N that we would have here at Haylett RV, if you need a greater overhead cab capacity, that's where you really want to be looking at Jayco. They've got a best-in-class 750-pound capacity, so kind of extrapolate there what they're doing for you. Now, the entertainment's on that big swing arm. You can pivot around, see whatever you want. You can see over here, though, they have, that is DVD. But that little slot, you could easily put in a small Blu-ray player if you are interested in upgrading your entertainment. This is on a Chevy 4500 chassis, since this is the price-sensitive segment of the Coachmen motorized lineup. Similar, well, not even similar, exactly in the way that the Redhawk SE will be on a Chevy chassis on the Jaycos that we carry here. Same concept. It's a lesser expensive chassis that frankly does basically the same thing. And I always forget which one's which. The Ford and the Chevy chassis. One has a little more horsepower, one has a little more torque, but frankly, they both have the same 5,000-pound tow rating, and they're both going to get you there. We have our backup camera monitor system, and this does not have like side turn signal cameras, being a more price-sensitive segment of the lineup. Other than that, though, I mean, it's a simple, clean cab. I love that even this cab area, though, like, it's very industrial. It looks kind of like a work van up front here, but that also means it's easy to clean because you're really only using the cab to get there, and once you are there, you know, you're done. Now, I subscribe to the belief of if you say something, or pardon me, see something, say something, and I found a blemish in the entire RV. That little piece of trim down there on the dinette where nobody's looking has been scuffed by somebody's shoe. That's the worst it gets in this coach, ladies and gentlemen. And I do always like to try to find some kind of defect somewhere when possible. In some RVs it's very obvious, in some RVs it's very not obvious. But that way you know that we are shooting you straight here. I don't want you coming from multiple states and multiple hours away. And frankly, I don't even want you coming from the other side of our sleepy little southern Michigan town to find a defect that was not discussed so that you go, you guys are a bunch of crooks. I don't ever want that to happen. I want you to know that when you visit Haylett RV, the RV is going to look exactly like how it looked on the video, you know? Up top here, we have our owner's manuals, and I always think that's a good thing for the, second owner or third owner of an RV, as this case may be, to find something like that, because it indicates that the previous owners just really did a good job taking care of this thing, you know? This is a 6 cubic foot two-way fridge freezer. It's not the biggest fridge freezer, because this is not the biggest coach. It is a little bit more simplified in its execution. Now, this is a neat little thing that they did right here. There's actually like a child seat anchor in here. That's a question I get all the time, is people say, like, if I back up a little bit, you saw that there's seat belts here. I mentioned there's seat belts in the sofa behind us, and there are seat belts on that seat as well. They're just tucked down behind the cushion. People go, yeah, but what about a little kid? What about a car seat? Not every motorhome is like car seat compliant, but they did give you at least one mounting point to anchor that car seat back here. That's just a nice touch. Something else I think was really smart is they added and sealed down another chunk of that sealed countertop stuff right here, so that around the cooking and cleaning area where you have more liquid content, whether it's something hot and greasy or something cold and wet or hot and wet, not going to slosh down nearly as easily on a person sitting over here. Nice, just little care and consideration touch. And this is very much an RV built with a specific price point in mind, but the little radius work here and there and a couple cabinets, just, I don't know, I appreciate that. Now, there's a privacy curtain right there that you can use to close off the walk-through middle bathroom. And this is a very common arrangement that many motorhomes have. Although I do like that it has that nice tri-panel sliding glass door, not like a curtain like a lot of things tend to have. And with this having a 7-foot ceiling, you've got all kinds of, headroom in here like crazy. But it's actually got a really nice lavatory bathroom space. And they did something here that is actually really starting to catch on more and more in towable and motorized production. They've just got a big mirror out of the way, and then they put a large cabinet beside it. So that cabinet can be my toiletries, it can be my linens, it can be all that stuff. But by putting just a mirror on the wall, that big bulky cabinet is not directly in front of the sink. So, clumsy ox like me is not nearly as likely to bend over and bonk their head on the wall if they are, brushing their teeth. Because, folks, I have a habit of doing that kind of thing. Have you ever sneezed while brushing your teeth and just blasted that mirror? Oh my God. I don't wish that on anybody. I don't know if you know this, but when you just projectile blast toothpaste, foamy toothpaste against a mirror, it just doesn't rub off easily. You might as well just clean the whole bathroom. Call in sick to work. You're going to spend all day fixing that mistake. You'd be better off to just sneeze on your shirt and change your shirt. Trust Uncle Josh the RV nerd on that one. Back to the topic at hand. Pair of the drunken octopus. Hey, you want to fight, coat hanger hooks? You want to fight, buddy? Put up your dukes. Back here in the bedroom, I like that extra vent. Ooh, running into the wall. Extra vent above the bed right here for some light and airflow. But speaking of light and airflow, huge windows. You got big windows on both sides of the bedroom for some awesome airflow. Let me get you up close here so that the camera doesn't have to struggle. You can see the full-size hanging closet, and I like the USB charging center there for my phones on a very CPAP friendly side stand. Both sides of the bed have their own individual dresser drawers. For full storage above the bed. All the windows back here open for airflow, and a larger hanging closet on this side. The bed is actually not symmetrically mounted within the room for some storage reasons outside that you'll see as we go. And then, of course, directly across from that, if you are so inclined, you do have hookups for your entertainment there, and another privacy curtain if need be. Jumping outside, using that door as a reference point to get you started so you know where we're looking. A simple side mount solar prep plug right here. So if you got a portable panel, you want to park off grid, not always run the generator. You can chase the sun a little bit with that panel. The tires look good. A lot of rubber left on those sneakers. I don't see dry rot or anything like that. It's not old enough to really have experienced that. Easy access to our onboard propane system. And I tell you, one of the things that impressed me, because this is absolutely an RV made with a price point in mind, but never, as I've gone through this, has the word cheap come into mind. I've never felt like this was cheap or chintz. Like, and here's what I mean. When you're in a budget-sensitive Class C like this, the little door holdbacks that cost 5 cents probably, so many brands just won't use them. But here they are on every single vertically opening baggage door on this coach. Really good attention to detail. If you want to install a TV outside, that's where your hookups would be located right there. Power awning is as big as it could have been. It does have LED lighting. They could have shrunk the awning. They could have not put on the lighting. They could have said, well, we're a budget-focused Class C. And you probably would have said, okay, I'll buy that. But they didn't. They still did those nice things. Those things you're going to use, see, feel, touch every day. They're all here. You know, I don't see dings on the paint of your cab. I don't see any issues where I'm like, ooh, you got to check the ceiling over here. Everything on this looks pretty good. Now, we were running all the lights and everything inside. I don't know if you were hearing it, but we had the generator on the whole time, and it fired right up. Like, I pushed a button, and it was like, and I was like, whoa, okay, we're ready to go, Mr. 4000, Cummings. So that if you want to run everything in your RV, anywhere you park, anytime you park it, bam, you're good to go. And then again, the little baggage door holdbacks, making it nice and easy to see inside of every little nook and cranny. But you have a chunk of storage back here. Class C's, especially smaller ones like this, don't usually have, due to the fact that you have that full walk-around bed. And that left them just with a canvas full of potential storage space back here, and they gave us 3 access points to be able to get to it. Now you notice that around the chassis rails, there you go, they have those little cargo storage buckets. I mean, every little spot they could, even a spot they had to manufacture, has good storage capacity on it. I don't see where anybody ever towed anything on this, but there's nothing that says you can't. This does have a 5,000 pound tow rating on it. I mentioned inside, but I want to reiterate, it does have a rear view camera, but you sure don't see it. It's actually integrated into that top brake light. There's, when you see it in person, you're like, oh, yeah, there it is. But right here on camera, it's so small and simple, you just don't even really tend to pick it up. We've already looked in the storage. I'm just making a mental checklist. I think we're good to go. Let's head upstairs and take a look at those Max Air vent covers, shall we? And you're not going to find any bad surprises up here. Actually, the bathroom skylight has been proactively touch resealed. So, whoever has owned this in the past, both previous owners, somebody, whichever one it was, did a good job making sure it didn't need anything. Now, there are 4 of these Max Air vent covers. I'm standing next to one above the bedroom. That's the bathroom. You have the living room and the overhead cab. All have ceiling vents, and somebody put like the Max Air, Camco, whatever you want to call them, vent covers over every single one of these to give you great airflow. And I've walked all around it. I've looked at the seals. There's no problem with the seals. There's no soft spots in the membrane. This thing's good to go. This is Camptastic. She's ready for fun. Now, it's been raining, even though it's sunshiny right now, and you can see my little footprints. So you can see the roof needs a little wash, but all of that is like fresh. Everything would rinse right off. It's not like this is an old, dirty, gross, stained roof. Looks great. Obviously, we're redoing some work out here, so you see a whole lot of open acreage at Haylett RV you don't normally see. But hey, that's what happens. You got to upkeep your facilities. You got to take care of things if you want to take care of people. So as always, give us a call at Haylett RV. We do it all. Take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy Haylett camping, everyone.